Hello and welcome to the Dragon Den. I'm King of Dragons 5000 and today I have another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Kong with the B.E.A.S.T gauntlet from Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. But before we have a look at the figure, a moment to thank today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Gundamit.com. Action figures, model kits, and other collectibles, check out Gundamit.com with a link in the description. Finally, we have a look at Kong as he's wearing the B.E.A.S.T gauntlet, and I'm really happy that Hiya Toys delivered on this figure. However, like with most Godzilla figures, this Kong is 90% reuse, as the only new part is going to be the B.E.A.S.T gauntlet. But it's still an amazing sculpt, and we're going to take a closer look at how Kong stacks up. Kong is going to come with 3 different head sculpts, as well as 4 sets of hands for various style posing. As we get a better look at Kong, it's very apparent that Hiya Toys just reused most of the mold from their New Empire Kong. Despite the reuse, the right arm is new and there is some changes to his paint. As we take a look at the head sculpt, it's the exact same head that we saw in that previous Kong figure. As always, the sculpt is going to be very accurate to the on-screen counterpart. Once again, we are going to have those glass eyes giving it some depth, but there's really nothing new about the head sculpt. As we take a look at his body, it's the exact same torso that we saw on that previous figure, just with minor paint adjustments. The detailing on his skin is still going to be quite good, and they did lighten the scars on this version of Kong. But the fur is still going to have that really nice sculpt, as well as a little bit of dry brushing. And the scar on his back is actually going to be darker on this version and a little more subtle. It almost gives off of that detail that it's healing rather than being a fresh scar. Kong's left arm is going to be the exact same, with that really nice sculpt that we saw on his fur. Some subtle dry brushing will bring out some more details on his fur, and as we get to his hands, there is a color difference between the palm of his hand and his fur. On his right arm, Kong is going to be wearing his B.E.A.S.T gauntlet. The sculpt work is rather impressive, as it's not only part of his arm, but there are some separate parts to it as well. They did a really good job painting the B.E.A.S.T glove, as it has this really nice construction yellow tone to it, and they even added a little bit of dry brushing here. We'll also get some gunmetal accents, which only highlight how much detail Hiya Toys put into the B.E.A.S.T glove. We'll even have some parts that actually extend out as well as fold up to have a defense mechanism. And the way it wraps around his hand is such a nice detail, as you can see all the mechanical parts going around his fingers. And as we take a look at Kong's lower torso, it is really nothing new to see here, as it's the exact same mold from that previous figure. Even though it is the exact same sculpt, it's still very clean, as they added that really nice dry brush, bringing out all the detailing on his fur. The paint consistency will vary from figure to figure, but it's still very clean here on Kong. And just like with his hands and his chest, we will have that skin tone, which does look good on his feet. Overall, despite being 90% reused, this is still a very solid figure. The brand new parts with the B.E.A.S.T glove do a really good job highlighting how much detail that Hiya Toys put into this version of Kong. And I was surprised to see some paint variation on his scars, as they do look different on this version. With the paint and details out of the way, let's compare Kong to our usual suspects. As you would expect, being part of the Monsterverse, Kong really doesn't scale with domestic or 1/12 scaled action figures. And his perfect home is going to be with the rest of the Hiya Toys Monsterverse collection. Kong is going to have a double ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. His arms hinge out to the side and do a full 360. He has a swivel and a double joint at his elbow. He has a double ball joint at the wrist. Kong is going to have a double ball joint at the upper torso and a double ball joint at the lower torso. Ball jointed hips will kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. He will have a double bend at the knee. Finally, Kong will have a double ball joint in his ankle. Hiya Toys continues to release hit after hit, and Beast Glove Kong here is another great addition to the collection. Although this figure is 90% reused, there's still a lot that was seen in the movie that this figure has. We're still going to get that level of detail that Hiya Toys is known for, with the sculpt being very solid and the paint job just highlighting how great the sculpt work is. I am rather impressed that there are some differences between the two versions of Kong, as the scars on this one do look noticeably lighter. But of course, the main difference is going to be the right arm, as this version of Kong is going to be wearing the Beast Glove. I really do like what Hiya Toys did here, as the level of detailing on the Beast Glove is superb, as we get a lot of nice wear and tear on it. However, the Beast Glove is going to be rather bulky and will limit some of the articulation on his right arm. And because it is very bulky, you really can't put his arm down to the side unless you turn his bicep. And just like in the movie, this version of Kong does not come with the axe, so that is something that is exclusive to the other figure. But this Kong still comes with grip hands, so that axe is still accessible to this version. It is a tough pill to swallow. What was supposed to be an alternate accessory is a $50 figure. But the only other alternative in this scale is going to be to pay $300 for two figures. The Beast Glove Kong is going to be very sought after, as this is the iconic look from the movie. I did pick up mine from Gundamit.com, where unfortunately at the time I'm making this video he is sold out. However, you can still pre-order him on sites like Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store. Fans of the Monsterverse are definitely going to want to have Beast Glove Kong in their collection. And before we wrap up the video, a huge shout out to Gundamit.com for sponsoring this video. For first party or third party action figures, model kits, or other collectibles, check out Gundamit.com with a link in the description. So with that being said, thank you for watching another video here on the Dragon Den. But before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my Hiya Toys videos. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon, where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000, reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.